Alright boys, what's happening? Welcome back to the last episode in the season. It is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at the Las Marina Circuit on F1 2021, the season finale of Season 1. I hope you have enjoyed the season so far. Today, we bring the season to a close. If you have enjoyed the season so far, boys, make sure you hit like on this video. You will not regret hitting like on this video. We have an action-packed race for you today, as always. Something mad always happens in every single one of our races. If you've kept up with the season, you'll know that by now. And this race is no different. As you can see here, boys, we're going through our facilities right now, showing that we have enough money to upgrade our facilities, but we're not going to, apart from maybe one in the marketing section here that we do pick up, because we do want to save up for our next season, our teammates for next season, I should say. We go ahead and get an upgrade in the marketing department there, because that will bring our marketing department to Spec 1, which some drivers require you to have a Spec 1 marketing facility to sign for your team. Obviously, if you don't know, the drivers have demands for your certain facilities and money that you can pay them and stuff. So we're trying to cover all bases. At the end of this episode, boys, I'm going to ask you guys for help with our teammate for next season. We're going to take a look at the money that we do have in the bank, who we can afford for next season, and I want you to drop a comment down below of who you want us to get for next season. The top comments will be our teammates for next season if we can afford them, and if the facilities allow it. On the screen is our setup for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Not the best setup. I wouldn't really copy this one, boys. I can't lie to you. I couldn't get this setup working really. I think the suspension especially, we got a little bit wrong. Towards Sector 3 of this circuit, you're relying a lot on a mechanical grip of the car, which just is like your suspension on your chassis, and we didn't really have the best car for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. As you can see, this is our lap here. We're currently in P22 after setting 2 or 3 laps in Q3, or Q1, sorry. And we're currently P22 back at the grid. I could not get the car working. Should have been doing a track guide, but I'm speaking to myself over the track guide. I'll give you one from now, from the hairpin, staying in 3rd gear. The racing line through the hairpin, you can pretty much just freestyle it. You know, missing the apex is the best way to go, I find, on that hairpin there. But very long straight, heading down towards the 100-meter board, braking just before the 100-meter board, maybe like 105 down to 3rd gear. Don't bump the curb because you will lose a lot of time. Snap of oversteer on the exit there as we short shift into 4th gear on the exit. You know me, I am the master of short shifting. Short shifting is my middle name. It's not really. Breaking out a 100-meter board down to 2nd gear for this one here to slow the car down, get the rotation in. Short shifting all the way up to 4th though. Like I say, we are the short shift champion as we come through now in 3rd gear. Yeah, very tricky last sector of this track. This is a very difficult braking zone here, very easy to lock up. Be careful you don't lock the rears. If you lock the rears, you've ruined your whole lap. So maybe put your brake bias a little bit up. I think our brake bias was on 56. You might want to bump it to 57 or 8 for that corner right there. Once we get a wheel and pedals, we're going to start doing that, adjusting our brake bias and stuff mid-lap. But yeah, we're a whole second up on this lap, 1.2 seconds. Which puts us P19, and I believe that was the best lap we could have set in qualifying 1. So we get out-qualified by Callum Ilott. Never thought I'd be saying that again. But the last race of the season, we get out-qualified by Callum Ilott. We're going to be P20 on the grid. Absolute stinker. Callum Ilott putting in a performance there, not getting through to Q2. Will he remain with us for next season? Spoiler alert, he doesn't. We're going to discuss that later on in the episode. But for now, let's get to the race.
Welcome to the Las Marina Circuit for the finale of another thrilling Formula 1 season. It's been a breathtaking year, and we end it at a track that's been the scene of many glories and heartbreaks over its history. It's time to end the season in style. It's time for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The drivers will be racing here at the Las Marina Circuit through 21 corners and a lap distance of just over 3.4 miles. There are a few opportunities to pass, with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, turns 8 and turn 11. Plenty of close racing then, plenty of speed, and I hope plenty of drama to be found in the laps ahead. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, they've taken a grid penalty. Lando Norris and Ricciardo. Hamilton, Sainz, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Leclerc and Kimi Raikkonen. Stroll, Giovinazzi, Pierre Gasly, they've taken a grid penalty, and Fernando Alonso. Tsunoda, Ocon, the owner driver, and George Russell. Pilot, Mick Schumacher, Latifi, and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, let's finish the season with a strong effort.
So the eagle-eyed viewers will notice we have actually overtook Callum Ilott by 2 places on the starting grid. I have no idea why. How do you take a 2-place grid penalty? I really don't understand that. And why is Callum Ilott taking a grid penalty on the last race of the season? This guy is a serial loser. I cannot wait to see the back of him as we count down the red lights. It is lights out and away we go in the last final race of the season. We start on the medium tyres compared to all of the soft runners around us, running a different strategy there as someone sends up the inside. I think that might have been Mick Schumacher going up the inside of everyone into turn 1. So Mick Schumacher making a big play there in his stinky little Haas car. We are in P18 off the start on those slower medium tyres, but we send it up the inside, and Mick Schumacher leaving us absolutely no space there. If you remember in the Australian race last time out, Mick Schumacher did a similar thing, left us absolutely zero space, but we do go ahead and take Mick Schumacher on the hairpin up into P16 now behind Fernando Alonso, and hopefully we can keep up with Alonso and keep up with all of the soft runners in front of us. There's quite a few of soft runners in front of us. Hopefully we can keep within that DRS range once we do get to it on lap 2, and we try and look up the inside of Fernando Alonso late on the brakes. Alonso, very experienced, good driver, gives us space there, gets the little cutback on the chicane there, but we made no contact with Alonso. It was worth the send down the inside as always. We're always going to full send it, boys. You know our middle name is Send It, even though before I said our middle name was something else. And we go up the inside of Alonso there. Like I said, very difficult corner that, very easy to lock up, but we managed to overtake on it, which was very impressive if you do ask me. And you can see the little train in front of us now is very compact and tight. I have a little look up the inside of Yuki Tsunoda there on this little chicane, but we don't have the opportunity to. But heading into the hairpin now, we can send it on Yuki and get a better exit onto the straight, and we have the 2 Alfa Romeos in front of us also on the medium tyres, so they're on the same strategy as us, should be about the same pace. We should be a little bit faster due to our car just being more developed, as you can see in the vehicle comparison chart. Can we send up the inside of Raikkonen late on the brakes? A perfect example of going late on the brakes there, and unlike Alonso, Raikkonen cannot get the switch back through the chicane. The Las Marina Circuit, boys, is just pretty much like just straight and then a chicane. That's what it feels like while you're driving it. It's just straight, flat out throttle and then a chicane. Not the most interesting of circuits, but we have a yellow flag in front of us. This is on board with Sebastian Vettel. We can see a Red Bull in front of Sebastian Vettel, who qualified in P3, is now smoking. And I do believe that will be Max Verstappen. It is indeed out of the session on lap 3. The durability and wear on the engine just getting to max on the last race of the season. Obviously we took that penalty last race to get the brand new engine in, so our engine is completely brand new apart from one race out in Australia last time out. Yuki Tsunoda now with DRS on lap 3 going up the inside of us, and we did exactly what Alonso did to us on the first few laps and get the cut back on the chicane there, as you can see. But that does mean Yuki Tsunoda will have DRS on us again, and everyone else behind Tsunoda will have DRS, and we're going to head 3 wide into this next corner now. Kimi Raikkonen or Giovinazzi and Raikkonen and Tsunoda all trying to come at us there through this little chicane section again, and there has been contact with Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda has spun behind us. We'll get a replay of that real quick. You can see us there 2 wide with Kimi Raikkonen, and Tsunoda just sends it up the inside, completely cutting the curb. Don't know what the guy was thinking, and made contact with us and spun. That for me is completely Yuki Tsunoda's fault. Like I always say, I will always hold my hands up and say when it is me that has caused the collision, but Yuki completely cut the corner to try and take it up the inside of us there, which I don't believe was a very good move. And another yellow flag behind us, and it is going to be Mick Schumacher completely dropping it on the chicane there, just on the throttle too early. Very weird incident. We've seen Kimi Raikkonen do that in Hungary a few races ago, or half a season ago I should say. Very weird racing incident right there. As we head down this main street now with Fernando Alonso getting DRS on us, obviously on the faster soft tyres, heading into the chicane. This is a very tricky chicane, like I mentioned before, relying on the mechanical grip of the car. And now we head through this little section, which I do really like, through the little building, which looks amazing once it does go nighttime, and once it gets coloured, as we wait for us to come through the little tunnel section there. Lovely camera angle with the cars really close up against the wall. But it looks like there's a yellow flag ahead of us as we come through there. You saw the lights were flashing before, and it's going to be Lando Norris in the McLaren. Yet another car. You see the little puff of smoke out the back there. Yet another car smoking out the back. Reliability issues on the last race of the season. So Norris is now out of the session. That's going to be 2 more places we have gained since the start of the race, with Norris and Verstappen retiring from the race. Jeff tries to give us another strategy there, but we completely ignore Jeff because he's an absolute fool. Heading down the straight now, Kimi Räikkönen, who is retiring after this race, boys, if you do remember. So that might spark some musical chairs in the Formula 1 teams, because Kimi Räikkönen will free up a seat in the Alfa Romeo. Will Bottas go to Alfa Romeo like he has done in real life? You'll have to find out in the end of this season, and maybe that would make George Russell go to the Mercedes. Will our career mode follow real life? We'll have to see at the end of this season, boys. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. If you got this far into the video already, I'm sure you will stay tuned to the end, because what is the point in watching if you're not going to continue watching? As we head through my little favourite section here, at least visually favourite section, the little tunnel place again, as we wait for the cars to come out, but there are no cars there, boys, and you see the yellow flag is flashing and Kimi Räikkönen goes past, but where is everyone else? Where are we? Where is everyone else? The safety car is out as we go past there on the camera after a long delay. But what happened there, boys? Why did we not come out? Let's have a look on the replay on the onboard with us. Kimi Räikkönen up the outside there, heading into the chicane. We get the better line through the chicane there, taking the inside, heading around the corner now towards this little building section. I don't even know what to call it. I don't know the names of the corners at the Abu Dhabi Las Marina Circuit, but heading through now towards the building section. We're just going to call it the building, or the tunnel. Well, it's not even a tunnel, it's a bridge, but we go a little bit wide on the exit there, which allows Kimi Räikkönen to go around the outside, and Kimi Räikkönen just completely cuts us off there as we try and go up the inside. Leaves us absolutely zero space. We manage to spin our car around and keep going, but we look in the rear view mirror, boys. There's a massive pile up of about 6 or 7 cars behind us. We'll see a replay of that now. Kimi Räikkönen, absolutely no regard for the other drivers around him. Completely dangerous driver. This is on board with Callum Ilott. From Ilot's perspective, he reverses to try and get another little look through, and there's a massive impact from behind on Callum Ilott. This is on board with Nikita Mazepin now, and Mazepin, this guy is an absolute lunatic. I don't know what he's thinking there. Drove straight into the back of Ilott. Ilott has a 5-second penalty. I don't know why or what for. Absolutely ridiculous there from Nikita Mazepin, who has just retired from the session. I don't know what Nikita Mazepin was thinking. Typical, Russian Ivan Drago style, just absolute lunatic. I don't know what he was thinking there, boys. I genuinely don't know why he's done that. But we did hold up Callum Ilott in the pits behind us, double stacking, because we had to change our front wing for the first time in a long time on this career mode. But that also delayed the Williams behind us, which creates a bit of a gap between us and the Williams cars. Yuki Tsunoda, though, comes out behind us, who we made contact with earlier on in the race. Of course, that incident before brought out the safety car, and we have boxed for a new front wing and new soft tyres, so I thought we're going to be absolutely rapid on this safety car restart. Everyone else in front of us pretty much is on the old mediums. Alonso there on fresh mediums, though, but I know Esteban Ocon, I do believe, started on the medium tyres. So Ocon's tyres are going to be older than us, and regardless of Alonso's tyres being new, we should be faster anyway with soft tyres. But you can see how fast the AI are on safety car restarts on this game. It is absolutely ridiculous. Our reaction times to the restart are right up there, but the AI just gets such a boost. It's like GTA got the boost, boys, off the start of the safety car restart. But the safety car was massive for us in this race. You can see there in the bottom right, just as we've closed it, we were running below the target on fuel. We have to save some fuel, and obviously being behind the safety car, we can do that, and we send it up the inside there of Esteban Ocon and get nicely slowed down before we bump into Fernando Alonso. And Jeff again trying to give us another strategy. This guy needs to stop speaking to me, boys. I swear to God, he always tries to ruin my master strategies. If you've seen the last 2 or 3 races, you'll know that I'm the strategy king when it comes to this game. Esteban Ocon overtaking us there, though, with the benefit of DRS. The AI is so slow through that chicane there. I always have to slam on the brakes to make sure I don't make contact with them. We are going to get DRS on Ocon in the other zone now, but it was not enough to catch Ocon that lap, and now we do have Yuki Tsunoda trying to send one up the inside. We probably could have defended that well better through this straight here. But through the chicane now, we've got the inside line off the right, but Yuki gets the better line on the outside, and he is going to overtake us. Like I said, we could have done better to defend it there, but we just let him pass us completely because I knew we were going to get DRS on this straight, or this little curve straight, if you will. A curve straight, that's the biggest oxymoron I've ever said in my entire life. But we do manage to make the pass again on Yuki Tsunoda. Obviously, the DRS so powerful at Abu Dhabi. Those two little straights there, back-to-back DRS zones. It is so powerful. But Yuki Tsunoda is not giving up that easily. He tries to go around the outside of us, sorry, round the outside there, but he does not make it. The Las Marina Circuit, boys, I do want to touch on one of my favourite circuits, visually anyway, because it's one of my first F1 circuits I've actually ever driven on a game before. I believe it was Forza Motorsport 3. The Las Marina Circuit was on here, and I was driving around like road cars. I had a Fiat Abarth, a Fiat 500 Abarth drift build on Forza Horizon 3, or Forza Motorsport 3, sorry. Driving it around here, trying to drift around all the corners, and it was sick. Like my first introduction really to the Formula 1 on a video game was at the Las Marina Circuit, so it always has a special place in my heart, if you will, because it makes me think about the Forza times with me Fiat 500 Abarth drift build, which I always wanted to get in real life, but you know, I don't think the police would be very happy with me drifting around a car around the streets. But yeah, Yuki Tsunoda again, you see the last few laps have been pretty much exactly the same, just overtaking each other at the same points, and then me taking the place back with DRS. Tsunoda done well to catch up from where he did spin out, obviously, before when he tried to send up the inside of us in this very section that you can see right now. But there's another yellow flag. It's going to be behind us this time, the yellow flag. Let's go and see who it was, and it was Callum Ilott. Let's see what this guy's done. Has he made a collision with someone? No. He just jumped on the throttle and completely spun like an absolute buffoon. This Mick Schumacher, or was it Mick Schumacher, did the exact same thing before. I believe it was Schumacher. You can see us and Tsunoda come through there, and in the background you see my man Callum Ilott just doing a little spin. Lucky not to get caught with by the Williams on the way past there. Yuki Tsunoda again. This guy is so aggressive. He's completely cutting the curbs just to try and overtake us. That is the second time. And again, Yuki Tsunoda bumping us there. This guy is ridiculous, boys. I swear to God, this guy is so aggressive. We'll see it on board with Yuki now. Bumping us there by cutting the curb for the second time in this race. And we do run a bit wide, admittedly, but he leaves us absolutely no space. And, you know, he pretty much turns into us there. He opens the steering wheel to crash into us on purpose. But you might have noticed a little bit of debris coming up there. And Tsunoda has lost his front wing end plate. So Tsunoda has to box, which, you know, is karma, really. This guy's cut the corner twice. I don't know how he hasn't got a time penalty for corner cutting. But every time he's cut the corner and hit us twice. And I do believe it is that impact there has caused some damage to our side pods on our car. So we are going to experience some drag on the straights, which is not good because the straights around Abu Dhabi are very long and a very large section of the track. But Carlos Sainz now trying to overtake us after his pit stop. Battling with George Russell just behind us, manages to overtake Russell into the hairpin, into the straight. And Sainz there with DRS around the outside. Carlos Sainz, a guy who we've been very friendly with over the last few races. We've had quite a few instances where we've seen each other on track and stuff, and just been very friendly. We shared 2 podiums back to back with each other. And last week, obviously, like I mentioned, Carlos Sainz, we had a little bump with Sainz, which might have ruined our friendly relationship. The last lap cost Carlos Sainz 3 places in the race. But we're going to send it around the outside now of Carlos Sainz. We've got the pace to get past him. But Carlos Sainz, and there's contact, and we have spun. Carlos Sainz has spun us out, boys. We managed to not lose any positions apart from to Carlos. Let's see a replay of that. Down the straight, we did have DRS, I do believe, on Sainz. You can see there our rear wing open. We were faster down Sainz. We could have gone up the inside. It would have been the better line to take, sorry. But we were significantly in front of Sainz, in my opinion. And he bounces off the curb there. You see, he actually got some air time bouncing off the curb because he went too inside, which sent his car just flying into the side of us. And that might have completely ruined, boys, the relationship between me and Carlos. Watch this. Off the curb, flies straight into us. Lucky not to lose our front wing end plate there. That could have been a disaster to take a second front wing change in a race. But we actually have to. 1 lap later, we do box for our medium tyres and take a front wing change. So Carlos Sainz, but yet again, Callum Ilott double stacking with us, holding up George Russell and the Williams behind us. But Carlos Sainz, boys, he's cost us a front wing change in the pit stop there. That's going to cost us our whole race pretty much. Any results we could have got. We were in P11 there, battling for the points, trying to get into the points on the last race of the season from a stinker of a qualifying session. But that is all she wrote, boys. It's going to be lap 28. Valtteri Bottas takes the checkered flag. We're in P16. We overtook Nicholas Latifi when Latifi did box on the next lap after you've seen us box. But an absolutely chaotic first half of this race, first 18 laps of this race, as you've just seen. Just crazy reliability issues with it being the last race of the season. Contact with Raikkonen, Tsunoda, Sainz. Absolutely ridiculous race for the last race of the season. And even Nicholas Latifi is trying to race us here as the race finishes. Driver of the day goes to Fernando Alonso, a guy who I do expect to retire next season. Or Sebastian Vettel to retire next season, with Kimi Raikkonen going this season. You know, these guys are getting old now. No offense to these guys, because at least Alonso and Vettel are two of my favourite drivers of all time, just because of nostalgia reasons. But Valtteri Bottas there taking the win in the last race of the season. He obviously also claimed the Drivers' Championship a few races ago, if you did miss that. Valtteri Bottas has won the Drivers by a significant amount. We'll take a look at the final season standings in a moment. But Bottas is top of the leaderboards. Mercedes taking the Constructors' Championship as well. But let's take a look at this race first of all. We've got Checo Perez in P2 and Daniel Ricciardo in P3. Daniel Ricciardo, someone I'm a very big fan of in real life. Hopefully with the new regulations next year, he can get that McLaren car working. Just hasn't suited his driving style this year, the way the McLaren car works. But hopefully Daniel has a great season next year with McLaren. And maybe he'll have a great season next season with Sasuke Racing. Who knows who we're going to sign as our teammate. Like I say, we're going to talk about that more after we check out the standings. But this is the final race standings for the final race of the season. Pierre Gasly from P13 up into P7. Great race from Pierre. Alonso up into P10 from P14. Callum Ilott up into P19 from P19. This guy, man. Saying that, we only went from P17 to P16. Final standings though, you can see Bottas P1, Hamilton P2, Verstappen P3. Pretty much expected that. We are in P10. Obviously a decent showing from us in our first season to finish P10. We finished above some great drivers: Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, in that Aston Martin car, which is so much more developed than ours, by quite a few points. You know, we had a very lucky podium early in the season at Canada, but we've had two podiums recently which haven't been luck. It's just been really good strategy in driving. Callum Ilott finishing P19 with the 1 point in the driver standings. Dan Ticktum, if you remember that guy, how could you forget that guy if you've been watching this series? He finishes in P17 in the driver standings with 4 points. And Sasuke Racing finish P7 in the constructors standings. Mercedes taking the crown there, followed by Red Bull and McLaren. We finished in P7 behind AlphaTauri. We did what we wanted to do at the start of the season, which was finish above Haas, Williams and Alfa Romeo. As an added bonus, we finished above Alpine, which was very nice to see. Next season, we're going to be trying to finish P5 or higher in the Constructors' Championship. That is our goal for next season. Can we beat AlphaTauri and some other drivers, other constructors? But with it being the end of the season, it is time to renegotiate with our teammate Callum Ilott or go and buy a new driver. Now, boys, this is the part where I need your help. Leave a comment in the comment box down below. Who do you want to see as our teammate for next season? We do have 9.4 million in the bank. We might get a bit more money before the deadline for transfers due to weekly resources, but you can see that Kimi Raikkonen has officially retired now from Formula 1, which he is going through in real life as well. So that frees up a seat at Alfa Romeo. Could spark a musical chairs of drivers. But look at this, boys, we can pretty much afford anyone from Daniel Ricciardo downwards. You know, we've got Sebastian Vettel, Jenson Button, the Englishman. It would be good to get an English driver with an English-based team. You know, that's just always a fan favourite. We've got Nico Rosberg in there, one of my favourite drivers in terms of real life. I do really like the guy, Nico Rosberg. If you don't watch his YouTube channel, you should probably check that out. It's a very good channel. But we've also got the likes of the young bulls. We've got Pierre Gasly, George Russell, who are great options for teammates. Or do we go with someone more experienced and Nico Rosberg, Carlos Sainz, or someone like Daniel Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel? I'd love Sebastian Vettel because he is one of my favourite drivers since from when I was a kid. Let me know in the comments, boys, who you want to see as our driver. We also need to pick a new engine for next year. Our engine supplier will change for next year. We can either pick Honda, Mercedes, Ferrari or Renault. Let me know in the comments what engine we should use for next year, for next season. If you are excited for Season 2, smash like on this video, subscribe if you are new. Season 2 will be coming fast at you on Monday night, 5 p.m. UK time. Be there or be square. If you did enjoy this season, like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the vibes. I will catch us next time. Take it easy.